Alright, let's try this again. So I was recording a video here, and it just stopped. After about 6 minutes of me talking and making a video, it just stopped. So I don't know why it did that. Maybe I didn't have enough space on this iPad. Who knows? So I'm trying again. So we'll see how this take goes. I'm making a birthday dinner for my 8-year-old son. He's my oldest boy. He wanted ribs originally, but I'm not doing ribs at 6 o'clock at night here. Well, almost 7 now. We used to let them choose where they wanted to go out to eat on their birthdays, but we have 5 kids that live with us, and that gets expensive. So now we just make them home-cooked meals instead, which is a lot cheaper. That being said, I had already cut up some potatoes and put those on to boil, and they're sitting right here beside me actually, and I'm now stripping onions, cutting onions into strips to saute in a pan to go with our steaks, because we're having steak, potatoes, and corn, which the wife just went to the store to get corn. So I'm just, slicing onion and cutting it in half to make strips. So nothing fancy, I don't claim to be a chef. I'm not trained. I watch a lot of cooking shows, and that's about the extent of my training. I just enjoy cooking. So if anyone has any tips for cutting an onion that makes it less teary, so you're not bawling your eyes out like a little baby, please let me know, because it would help greatly, because I am fighting tears right now cutting this onion. Luckily I'm only cutting one onion and not 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 like I did when we made French onion soup. I said before, I put potatoes on. All I did was take some of these gold potatoes we have, and I just chunked them out into uniform pieces and threw them in the pot to boil. I've heard a lot of people that will they'll put the water on the boil first and then add the potatoes to it. I have found by doing that you can cause more harm to yourself, because that's hot water splashing around, and I don't like that, especially not when I have a 2-year-old in the house. So I like to add my potatoes to the water when I put them on, and then bring them to a boil. And I think it also makes a creamier mashed potatoes. So they're just coming to a boil now, and I'll let them boil until they become soft enough that I can just squish them with a fork with a lot of ease. Probably heard them boiling over there. I just turned it down. So right now I'm topping and gutting bell peppers because I'm going to strip them. I've got an orange, red, a yellow, and a green. I like to cook with bell peppers. I like the colors, and when it comes to sauteing them in a pan, I love the flavors you get from them. So I don't expect any of the kids to eat any of the peppers. Me and the wife will eat them. So this is our portion of this dinner. So after I cook these potatoes, or while these potatoes are cooking I should say, I'm going to start this onion and these bell peppers at the same time excuse me, in my big skillet here. And then when those are done, I'll do my steaks. So like I said, I'm just going to strip these. I'm not going to do anything real fancy with them. I'm just going to try and keep them about the same width, roughly. I'm no good at slicing, dicing, whatever you want to call it. I just try to do my best at, that I can. So I did buy these. The wife wants to do product reviews for stuff we buy. Tell people what we think of it. From a large family perspective. And so we bought these Hessler knives. I don't know if you can see that really well. We bought these. It was $60 for a set. And the set came with this chef's knife I'm using now. It came with 2 slicing/carving knives that have a serving fork on the end of it. And 2 paring knives and what they called a roto whisk, which is the reason the wife bought it, because she liked the roto whisk. Which I'm not gonna lie, I like a good knife set. They're hard to come by, so I was intrigued by it. I love chef's knives. Chef knives are probably my favorite knife in the kitchen. I'll do just about anything with a chef's knife. Probably some stuff I shouldn't do, but you use what you got, you know what I mean? So far, I have no negative things to say about these knives. They're amazing. I love them. Obviously, I like the chef's knife a little more than I like the slicing/carving knives. But that's just, like I said, my preference for knives. And you'll have to excuse the appearance of this video also, because this is my first time doing anything like this. So, we're doing sirloin steaks tonight, and we're probably just going to end up doing either canned corn or frozen corn, depending on what the wife gets. The kids like either one, so it doesn't really matter. And she's actually probably going to be a little mad that I did this video without her. But, as I said in my first video, this is just a test video, really, to see how stuff works with YouTube, because neither one of us are YouTubers. We're going to be doing this from an iPad, so we don't have any fancy gear or anything like that, no fancy cameras, just an iPad and a phone, so you can probably hear the kids in the background back there. But I'm going to finish cutting these up and get them on the stove, and I'll be back in a little bit.